Hi, how's it? We're in the next part. Please go gauge your bearings to figure out what we're talking about so far. But I was speaking about BDD, body dysmorphic disorder, and how it is that I think I've self-diagnosed myself with. Let's not call it a mental illness, guys. I'm sick and tired of people calling me crazy. Like, seriously. But these two guys, Bakotle Watermore, please go check out the previous part to gauge your bearings. The one who was Standard Bank said I look 19. And then the one dude, upon offering me some service that him and his friend were selling and his colleague was selling, rather asked me if I've got siblings as opposed to my own kids, because apparently, allegedly, I couldn't possibly have kids yet because I looked that young to him. To them both. And when I was coming back from the Standard Bank going home now, the colleague, the same dude, Wako the stand, selling whatnot, he tried to call me again, him and his friend. And when I walked past and I was like, but I told you guys I don't have, what do you call this? I don't have siblings that young and I also don't have kids. They were like, no, we're not trying to, like, let's talk. I was like, oh my goodness, they're starting to shell out now. I was like, whoa, they looked like I said 24, 25, no older than 25. If anything, the ones at the stand looked really young. They look like promotion kids, like they could have just pulled them out of some university campus and said, don't you guys want to make a quick buck type establishment thing. Anyway, whatever. I was like, it suddenly made sense to me why, I've been having a hissy fit rant in my shorts, in my videos recently, about all these kids that keep on DMing me on Facebook, especially because Facebook is the only place where I can be DM'd, type of establishment thing. I don't have any other social media platform where I can get DM'd. I've been crying. Your kids, like, what am I going to do with you? What am I going to do with you? And I've been feeling like God has abandoned me. He's forsaken me. Men my age are not even pursuing me. They're not even interested in hearing what I have to say. They're not trying to tap on my shoulder, nothing. Even when I say that I am 38, they seem to not care why, what's going on. And I've been crying about that, like literally throwing my toes at the cot over it. And it happened today at the mall as well with those employees, but at Standard Bank and the other ones that were doing the promotion with the kiddies program. And I was like, whoa, okay, so this explains what in the world under heaven has been going on Facebook. I had no clue, as I'm busy walking up and down in these streets in public, that when people see me, they see someone that literally just got out of high school yesterday. They see a person that just matriculated day before yesterday. Whereas I, in my understanding, have 20 years afterwards. There's this gargantuan 20-year gap that progressed from the time that I got out of high school to now, that I've lived, and the past 10 years of it have been in extreme pain and poverty and sorrow. And the pain has made me feel like I've got wrinkles on my face, like sorrow is all over me. Like, when a person has gone through a lot, sometimes you find it or you can read it in their eyes. We are born at this person when they're walking, that pain has slapped them. Life has really had a field day with them. I've been hurt so badly and I've been going through so much and for so long that I feel as if though mangaphandle out there, abantu bayabona, when I'm out there, people can see that Shem, that looks like a woman that used to be beautiful once upon a time, but life more ravazite. Maybe she's got a bad husband, or she's got disrespectful kids that just cannot give her a break, or she has got a bad boss. Life has slapped her outside the head. I am carrying so much sorrow, demonic like gluing on you. The demons can glue on you another suit. They can put on you another outfit on your body that you don't see. No, not that you don't see, sort of that other people don't see, but that you see. So when you stand in front of the mirror, and seriously, even that eating disorder symptom called either is a distorted body image or body dysmorphic disorder, I am almost certain it's demonic now, as opposed to it being just some illness that can be dealt with medication and what have you. When I was in high school studying eating disorders and biology, for the life of me, I couldn't understand how anybody can look in a mirror and see a fat person when they're skinny. And these are one of the symptoms of bulimics and anorexics. They stand in front of a mirror and they see a fat girl when the whole world sees somebody emaciated out of their minds. And so they end up dying thinking they're fat when they're thin. And I thought it was just a lie. Like, there's no way under heaven that you're seeing a fat person in the mirror. No. Get your act together. Don't you see, you're gonna die. You're gonna kill yourself from not eating. Just get your act together. Like, I always, when my teacher was teaching us about BED in high school, I always used to look at the images of these girls that thought they were fat when they are thin as like, snap out of it. You're lying to everybody. You want attention. Yeah, well, it turns out that BDD is not just something that you get when you have an eating disorder. Sometimes you see a real monster in the mirror when there is something completely different in other people's eyes. And I am thoroughly convicted now that abuse, sorrow, torment, sometimes the very purpose of it by Satan is to make a person completely disregard who and what they really are because of what in the waking space they see. So that's why I believe now, I'm convinced that body dysmorphic disorder or a distorted body image is demonic. I feel like it is a supernatural impression on a person. It sticks on them so that they see something completely different in the mirror when other people see something else. I feel old when I look in the mirror in the mornings when I brush my teeth. I see this woman that is just aging, guys. I am not kidding. Sometimes I wish I could cry when I look at my what I imagine to be aging face because I have not yet gotten married. I don't have children. What man is going to find me viable? I am constantly like after washing dishes, I look at my hands on some who is going to want to put a ring on such wrinkled fingers. I see some like literally my hands. When I look at my hands, I sometimes I cover them because I don't want anybody to see them because I feel like I've gotten aged, that my hands have aged to a point where a man, if at all we are like at the altar and he's about to marry me, put a ring on it, he might be like, oh my goodness, so many wrinkles, but anyway, let me not say anything. At least like parts of her are not gone. I am constantly looking in the mirror in close proximity, like I get really close to the mirror to look at my chest because I feel like it's starting to crease, like that there are evidences of aging. More sifubeng molala ke feel nkare I look aged, like my neck is caving in. I feel like in a little bye here, right? And my hands have always been skinny, right? And I've always struggled with upper body strength and whatnot. And when I look here, ke feel nkare this is age. My stomach, I'm always taking it, like I literally go out of my way to grab my stomach in front of the mirror and I would do this to it and be like, see, I'm aging, I'm creasing, I've already had a baby. Yo, guys, these are things that I do almost every day. And when I look in the mirror, that gravity is having a field day with. I'm constantly examining my breasts to see how much more gravitationally pulled downwards they are in comparison to 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. And it's a never-ending cycle. And the thing that has put me in there is not so much vanity on some, I'm losing my beauty. Look, I'm a Christian, I know charm is deceptive, beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. For me, it's not about loss of beauty that I'm lamenting about. It is about the loss of glory that men in the world very predictably look at in order to gauge whether or not a woman is worth the while to get married. Do you understand? Even when men get saved, they are still visual, you guys. And I wanted to be a beautiful bride that is young and obviously a prized possession to this dude that is going to be making this decision with me in my life. He has made a decision to make out of me an honest woman, and he knows that one day I'm not going to look as glorious as I do on the wedding day, but you know, he got to marry a really beautiful young bride, and the photos are going to speak volumes to our kids and be like, look at your mama used to be a hit, your mama used to be really great. The grandkids will be like, oh, look, your grandmama used to be really beautiful, type establishment thing. But at least I had the time to walk down the aisle, and I had the time to have my glory years even inside a marriage, like a young bride, like to have people say to my husband, your wife is beautiful. Whoa, because I'm still so glorious looking before I start to, you know, fall apart, because we all fall apart, and more so do women fall apart faster than men. I knew the day was going to come. I didn't have issues with that day coming. For me, it was about not having the opportunity to have the glory of my youth on my wedding day and the glory of my youth on the wedding night, because you know how I'm worried about my breasts falling apart and me not looking as good as I used to, more milling. Even my exercise, I guess I'm a motivation because I feel as if though I'm too old to work out successfully. Like, I have got problems. People have stolen an entire decade of my life and I feel like I'm old. Like, old. And when I look in the mirror, I am constantly looking out for wrinkles to see what's going on. I don't know how many times I stand in front of the mirror just to investigate where I am creasing, where there is a new fold when I'm smiling that never used to be there before. I'm always looking out for this stuff. When this hair is off, I'm constant, like with this fake hair, I'm always just paging, like literally scrolling through my hair strands to see if there are any grays. I don't mind getting grays, but I definitely mind getting grays, having gone nowhere, done nothing, never gotten married, never, like all the things that I am supposed to experience. My first gray width, my first wrinkle, my first fine line, my first, day of noticing that my breasts are more southward than I would appreciate. I was hoping to experience all that after my first child, or my second, or my third, and when I had seen some things in this world, gotten married, a couple of years of marriage, one big argument with my husband, maybe 10. Yeah, things that explain why a person got creases. I didn't expect to just experience them in a dump, isolated, ostracized, and abandoned. And so for me to stand in front of the mirror every day and just watch my days go by is for me to manufacture agedness that apparently allegedly doesn't exist, according to a whole bunch of teeny boppers on Facebook. Okay, they're not teeny boppers, but they're so young that they don't make sense for me. They're like in their early 20s. And also those dudes at the bank, and the ones that were that I was en route the bank. At that little company. The company for the little kid education. So I don't see what the world sees, but God did what he did today to help me understand that Mara, that is, Ruth's mom, Naomi, it's not over. And I'm going to help you understand that today as you're flustered going through the mall, trying to get your errands run. I'm going to help you understand how the world sees you. Because right now, you've got a bad case of body dysmorphic disorder. Next part.